this sounds good in here. I'm live. Wow. Got a burp. Wouldn't come out. So, what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. We're here today live from the restroom of our hotel studio that we've been living at for about 4 days now. Well, right? 4 days?
I'm not supposed to be here.
You are here. It's live. Damn it. What the hell? Where are you supposed to be at?
Hi.
Here's the belly saying hi. So as you can see, baby girl's not here yet. She's still in there.
I'm gonna do a full boxing. Oh my god, I'm so chubby.
Babe did her hair the other day. There's been a lot going on. Somebody told me to get on live and talk about everything the other day, but I didn't have a chance because we've been working like crazy. I don't even know if anybody's gonna really watch this live. Nobody's in here now, but I guess it'll go up as a video on my channel. So what do I want to talk about? There's so much that's been happening over the last few days that I don't even know what I want to start talking about first. I gotta get closer to the camera because I feel like I'm not talking loud enough. Am I talking loud enough? But yeah, as you guys probably have seen during the uploads, 6 days ago? How many days? Oh yeah, the chair's making so much noise. This chair is squeaky as hell. YouTubers, please pay attention to when your chair is squeaky, because I'm pretty sure that's been annoying in the video. But yeah, I don't remember how many days it was ago because the phone was literally up there. But matter of fact, it was on the 4th of July. So today's the 9th. So whatever from the 4th to the 9th is how 5 days. Okay. So 5 days ago, basically, we were staying with my uncle, and before that, we were staying with him since like March 4th, maybe March 3rd, and we basically just got into something, man. Like, it wasn't even like getting into something like something physically happening or like something happening that specific day. It was more like it felt like a buildup of getting into something, and we essentially don't live there anymore. They were aiming to get us out of there, and we left. So it is a big explosion and stuff, I'd say. Like that, I don't know if I want to start from that day or like a buildup of everything, because I feel like there was a buildup to what was going on, and it exploded on that day. So basically, like you guys know, we've been staying at my uncle's for a good amount of time, and trying to get ourselves back to where we can be somewhat stable in life. Before that, we were homeless for a month. You guys seen, we were living in our car about 2 months. 1 month without lights and water at the previous place, which turned into living in our car, which turned into me living with my uncle, which now turns into us living in a hotel room again. I don't know, I don't think there was really any communication going on in the house as far as his part. Like, when we moved in, I initially asked him for a few months to live with him to get our money up and get ourselves, like I said, stable. And he was like, yeah, when we first got there, we kind of talked a little bit, but like it was mostly us saying what had happened to us, why we were there in the first place, and trying to explain to them that reasoning. And nothing was really said about it, but it was just kind of like shrug, like the whole reason behind that happening was kind of shrugged off, and I feel like they were more focused on, okay, y'all are here, y'all in that instance felt like y'all are here, but y'all gotta get out, type thing, and we were understood that, definitely understood that, but yeah, as time went on, it started feeling more like a how long you guys gonna be here thing, when we were only there for like 3 months, and so we felt the pressure from that type of stuff, like it just started turning into like different little things about uh us being there, and with everything going how it's going, and as you guys have seen on our channel, with our credit scores being so low, with us being
Which we did bring up.
huh?
You have brought it up. It's just not. It's not gonna be perfect just yet.
Yeah, we have brought our credit score up since being there, but in 3 months time, it doesn't move as fast as we need it to move, uh to get into a place. Like our credit is very bad. Like, and my credit wasn't really anywhere near as bad until the charge off of the car, which was literally the month that we became homeless, and that kind of sent it downhill. Like it went really downhill. So I was recovering from that, still recovering from that. Which the crazy thing is, after literally the day after they put us out or we left, my credit score went up 76 points, and like I said, it's still a work in progress. Like we still have stuff to work on. I don't know why my stomach is doing like a fluttering thing.
Why? Because you're talking.
No, I was doing that before I started talking.
Like pooping? Yeah, poop.
No, it's like fluttering. It's like jumping. It feels like.
Oh, that happened to me when I'm recording and I be.
Really?
Doing good. Mm-hmm.
Jumping.
I have a video of me talking about it.
That's crazy.
I gotta at least start freaking out in the video. They have an ASMR video of me.
Like it feels like a baby's in my stomach kicking around and stuff. I'm like, whoa, it's crazy.
And I was like trying to sit up, and I was like, okay.
Alright, but yeah, where was I at? I was, yeah, I was at the part with my credit score. So yeah, my credit score, our credit score, like you guys know, during the video we've said Dora has, like if you, like the crazy thing about it is like, all this stuff is recorded. That's all I'm gonna say, man. All the stuff, every single day we were there was recorded. So I kind of see how it is hard for me to like get on here and talk about it, because I'm literally talking about it every day in the videos that we recorded. So if you go back from on my channel, you guys can see for yourself a lot of things.
You tried to say we were there for 5 months. I'm like,
yeah,
your channel wasn't even up.
They tried to start it. They tried to start the conversation off by saying we've been there for 5 months. When are we gonna get out?
And if anybody knows, like anybody who lived with somebody to like get on their feet.
Yeah, when
3
people,
months is nothing. 5
when you live with somebody,
nothing.
unless you're living with them to make some type of transition,
like
you're not gonna be out in like 3 if you're trying to if you're living with somebody to gain your own stability. 3 months is the bare. It's probably the bare minimum somebody would be able to gain their stability, and that's, you've got to be a single person, you've got to, or a double or dual household. Like you've either got to be somebody that's single, or somebody, or live in a household that has two like people bringing in money at the same time and resources, like a mom and dad dynamic that are both working at the same time, that have resources, not a dynamic of two people that don't have any resources yet and are trying to build those. And that's something that I think is brushed over a lot with my family specifically. Is, well, I wouldn't even say, I say a lot of families specifically don't acknowledge those things about situations. So when situations are happening, they're like kind of dumbfounded as to what's going on. But if you don't ask questions, you don't really know, because you don't really, like, you could just tell they don't understand a lot of things, because I'll tell them something how it is, and they'll take it as oh, you're, or they don't know if it's a lie. They don't really know anything about it. So all they can assume maybe that it's a lie, or all they can assume is that I don't know what I'm talking about, because they never knew anything about it. Like, it's crazy how I can see that people think. And I feel like the whole time we were staying there, just off based off the initial reaction he gave me while talking to him, I can see all the things he probably assumed that we were doing, or assumed about me and stuff like that. And yeah, I can see that he assumed he knew and had no idea. Like I said, my family doesn't even know about my YouTube channel yet. Like, I don't think they know about my YouTube channel, let alone have seen the videos. And they didn't even know at all that we were sleeping in my car until the incident happened. Like, we didn't go there looking for uh, sympathy. We didn't go there looking for to be victims, to play victim. We went there looking to gain some type of stability in life. And
yeah, I saw holding your hand.
that was.
You
Wait.
look like it. What?
What was I going in?
No, you was like, if you look flustered.
Oh yeah, I was like kind of flustered. Yeah, I was. I don't know.
Are you awake?
I'm awake. I was like, damn, was I just going in like that? I don't know if I was going and talking or.
Slow down. You can slow down. I'm gonna do your hair.
Oh my god.
You can talk while I do your hair.
But yeah, sorry if my voice is cracking. Does it sound like it's cracking?
A little bit.
A little bit.
Our
Okay.
son is having way too much fun. It's bedtime.
Yeah, it's bedtime. He keeps playing around. But yeah, they didn't really they don't really get it, which is the main reason. And it's crazy to keep saying it, but the main reason we're in the situations we are now is because nobody really gets it. And we're really the first people in our family generation that I would say is trying to acknowledge it, or follow through with acknowledging it, because I don't think I think either our parents didn't follow through with acknowledging like situations in life, or they just stopped acknowledging things. So while we're there acknowledging the world and our situation, somebody else is acknowledging it in a completely different way. Like, what what they see is me going to work, or they just see me leaving the house, and because I don't have a traditional job, it doesn't look like it's me going to work, because I'm going at different times, and I'm going different days. I'm taking some days off. I'm going to work some days, like the whole day, and I can see how it's very confusing for people around us, but that's the way we do things. It's the way we make money, and it's very legitimate. Like, there's no work schedule involved. There's no clocking
some
in.
water?
Yes, I need some water bad. I feel like I need some.
Excuse me, guys. I gotta get into the line. I'm getting my son. You're supposed to be laying down. Lay down.
Towels falling down, guys. I got the hotel computer chair in the bathroom. So I'm rolling around, I'm spinning around. I don't know, man. I just can't play victim, like, at all. We know what we're supposed to be doing, and we know what we where we're trying to do, where we're trying to go, and that's it. Like, I don't really know. our son, he's been on this journey with us, and we're just fortunate that we're able to. Damn, why is my voice cracking so much? Thank you, babe.
You coming?
Yeah, come on.
Your son is jumping around like it's playtime. Yeah, my belly's like not good.
My voice is cracking so much, it's ridiculous. I don't know why.
Well, it's quite dry. Also, your hair. I have to wait. Let me break that. I can put it in my
I'm sorry about the squeak, guys. Yeah, there it is. Hello. What the hell, bro? This is annoying. My voice never does this. I probably sound like a frog. I would never want to record. Ooh, wow, that is ridiculous. It sounds like my voice is changing as I'm talking. It's so weird.
Are you tired?
Yes, I'm tired.
Well, that's fine. Why?
But yeah. Where did I leave off at?
Or did I put you to sleep?
That was putting me to sleep, Maria.
Oh, well, that probably shouldn't do that. That's probably your voice is getting worse.
Where did I leave off at though? I'm gonna just basically get to since like I'm trying to just make.
Oh, you were saying like work. You work different times.
Yeah, working different times and stuff like that.
But it also helps our family out.
Yeah, it also benefits our family.
I don't have people that watch my son. I don't trust people watching my son. And for the most part, it's not even about that. I just don't have people that are close enough to me for us to watch our son and know how we do things. It was never like that. Like, it was always just us. And then now, it was always just us. And then, like, then we had our son. So, like, we always was like we're a very close family unit. Like, me and FaZe used to do everything. And I know that's not like the best situation, but it works for us because we get what we're trying to accomplish. And other people, usually when they don't get it, they tear it down, clearly. And that's dangerous for what we're trying to do because a lot of people that we know have never seen like what we're trying to do. And even just us being in a relationship where it's not drama, it's not cheating, it's like all the toxic stuff that's considered normal. Like, you know, no offense to people who've been through that, but we just never been through that stuff. So it's hard for us to.
We have been through stuff.
Yeah, like normal life stuff.
It's been our own stuff. Like,
yeah,
it
haven't been like no crazy normal toxicity. So it's always hard to explain even down to our relationship. So imagine us trying to explain how we want to raise our son. And yeah. It's stuff that people have from where we're from have not seen or been a part of. So they usually just assume they know what's best for us or they know what to do. And it's like, obviously not. The results are not there. So yeah, that conflicted a lot with that's conflicting a lot with people that we know for real because they assume they know us or assume they know what we thinking or what's going on. They really don't, and they don't think that we can see them not knowing what they're doing or knowing how we think. So it's weird.
It seems like people really think we that naive. I'm like, damn, well, was y'all this naive at this age? Because it kind of shows if y'all was, but just say it. Like, just say you didn't know something.
Yeah, so basically, I guess long story short, you can keep talking about the story, but basically we got kicked out because we were making them uncomfortable. They said their house is like a vacation house.
Yeah, basically that morning my uncle was just sending me a mad, which I'll probably put in another video, the actual text. But you could just tell from the context of the text that the way he was talking was like with no respect.
And it was out of nowhere too.
Yeah, it was out of nowhere. Like,
I remember I was doing my hair in this one room they call the office, but no one ever really in it. Like, no one's ever in it. But I respected, like, you know, I never really be in it. But I wasn't gonna be in there. But then you told me it was okay to go in there.
Yeah, I told him it was okay to go in there because it's like
our son sleeps. He has a sleep machine on. Like, it's dark. We have another thing too. We're having another baby, so we have all of her stuff like different
We're in
places.
one room. It's
One
one
room.
small room, like the hotel room, just a
But they
bedroom.
they thought it was necessary for them to have. I mean, I'm just being real. Like you're in a house with somebody. They have a 4-bedroom home, and we only confined to one room. They use one room for, I guess, working out, another room for office. They don't even be in either, barely. And I just wanted to do my hair, and they was like, just go in the other office. I was like, okay, sure. I went in there, and it was almost like I caused hell. The same room that they already let someone else stay in not long ago. That his, I guess, niece stayed there for weeks. But I guess because I was in there, it was annoying, and I was just doing my hair. And now he came in there one morning, which I don't even get why, because I really think it's just to make you uncomfortable, to see if you're like, get the message before they say something. But that's not how it works. Like, we're adults, so you gotta talk about things. So I noticed that he didn't, I said, hey, when he came in, he didn't say hi. So I was like, you want me to get out? Like, I just said it straight up. Like, you want me to get out? Because the way they're acting was like I was doing something being in there. And I was just literally doing my hair. Like, I wasn't going to be in there forever. I was doing my hair. And before that, his wife the day before was like, oh, you're doing your hair still? And I could tell they were already getting annoyed with me being there, but I already felt like they were going to, because they were just being weird. And she's like, well, I just said his name. He gets dressed in here. That's his uncle name. He gets dressed in here for work. And I'm like, why can't he just get dressed in his own room? You know, like, because he don't want to wake her up, I guess. And I'm like, but if you're not, usually she wakes up early, just as early as he does. Doesn't do anything. She's like, waters plants and stuff. I'm like, what? Y'all just want to do what y'all want to do and don't want us here. Just say that. Like, don't make it like we were dirty or we were taking up everything in the house or we were breaking stuff. Like, don't make it like that. Just make it how it was. Like, their birthdays are coming up. Like they said, they told us this, their birthdays was coming up and they didn't want us there. They wanted other family there. And she literally said her family's coming. She wanted her family to come, but they can't because we're there. Which we're only in one room. There's like 2 other rooms. But I guess that's not enough for them. Their dog basically took over everything in the house. Like, you know, they treat the dog better than anybody.
Yeah, it's crazy.
My son, I never let him come out of the room because I could feel the energy of like them just tolerating us. And I told my son that I want my children to know you go places where you're celebrated and you're not tolerated, and people aren't just looking at you like, you know, you're just scum under their shoe. That's not cool.
It's not cool to be treated not like a person just because, you know, like, the main thing for me is like, if I was on your like level financially or like able to do the shit that you do and you can get along with me on that level, I wouldn't be in your house. Like, I would be in my own house. Like, I wouldn't be there for 3 months. I wouldn't be there doing the stuff I do. I would go have it my way, but I can't. And it's not even trying to tell somebody how to have it in their house. But when you open up, just the same way if we was to open up our house to somebody, we have to understand that there's another grown person in the house with us. Like, and if they're not a complete idiot, like this is how I know people literally think that we're dumb or like have some type of impression of
he literally said before
that
I
like,
issuing stupid kids, and I had to check him on that a long time ago. So I can imagine what he thinks. You know?
Yeah, that's how you can tell somebody has an impression on you though, like, or an impression about you, and somewhat kind of see how they think about you because of the way they treat you when you're in that house. Like, a lot of people would say I would let my sibling live with me for free, right? And I wouldn't charge them. They could stay here for free, and this and that. And when their sibling is there, they do just that. But if it was a friend that was just as nice or just had like literally had just as good as values and or whatever, all the other shit, like just as good of a character as your sibling, you would treat them like scum on the ground because they're not your sibling and live in your house. Like, that's kind of weird to me. Like, you're a person still, like, you deserve respect. I would think some type of respect. Like, I don't walk around demanding that people do this and do that and all this other stuff. Like, I'm not even that type of person. I like kind of stay to myself. I'm more of a in my own bubble thing and like try to stay out of people's way type of person. And to be treated like that is just crazy. Like, I really don't understand. and to treat people that way is crazy. But yeah. So when he messaged me in the morning, was right before or after his wife had stopped me to talk in the kitchen.
It just seemed very strategic and set up.
Yeah, it seemed very strategic.
Like he even, I feel like he was just
it
trying to
very, yeah,
to
I was about to say,
out.
it seemed like a very charged up energy thing. Because I was like going, like after I got, it was after I got a text because I started putting stuff in the car because I was like, okay, I don't want to make it seem like, I mean, that day is crazy because we already had been planning. Okay, so I guess I'll say it on the live that I can start saying it in my videos, but we're going to New Jersey because Dora has a family member that extended his hand to us and willing to actually help rather than be
I mean, I pretty much just feel like your family thought they were doing something for us.
Or actually not willing to make adjustments for us because they understand our situation.
Like accommodation.
Accommodation.
Versus just, oh, here's a room.
Versus somebody that's like, okay, here's a room. This is me helping you. Stay in the room. Do what I say. This is my house. That and that. Like somebody that's willing to make accommodations in their house for us, and somebody that's willing to make accommodations to their schedule for us. Like we're grown, we don't need we're parents ourselves, but when our parents didn't do the job that they were kind of supposed to do, we kind of like that's literally the figure that people go around looking for in life and trying to get themselves stable. So if your parents didn't do that as a child, you're gonna always go around needing that to get to somewhere else in life. It's literally like a gateway code to getting to a certain level in life. And you see why people run around here crazy and like doing who knows what because they can't get that specific code to go into another level in life or seeing a different place. Like you who knows what they could be doing if they had that gate code at a younger age or at an earlier age. And yeah, it's just one of those stories. So like I said, his wife stopped me to talk in the kitchen while I was getting a trash bag out, and that's when she asked us about what we were planning on doing, and we've been there for 5 months.
And one thing I'm pissing off is when someone's like, you're talking and someone's nodding their head like they hear what you're saying, and they clearly didn't receive nothing you're saying. They just basically want what they want out of the situation. So it's like, don't talk to me then. Just say get out.
Yeah, there's a bunch of things like that we said to each other. Like, and this wasn't even an argument. This was a regular conversation between us and his wife. Like, we were talking like normal people, like how I'm talking on camera now, how Dora's talking there. Like, we were literally talking like normal people. Like, there was no, what was it? No animosity. Nobody was raising their voice and all that other stuff. And then, yeah, so then after that conversation, though, we kind of got the hint, like, okay, we need to get out of here for real, because, not even need to get out of here for real, but we were more so on the train of, okay, well, at least we'll be able to be here until we go into labor, and then we go to New Jersey. Like, that was the plan that we were putting together. Okay, we'll be here until you go into labor, and then once you go into labor and have the baby, then we'll go up to New Jersey.
And this is our emergency plan because
this is
our initial plans. Like I said, we can't. It's not like we have parents. Like I said, we can't really make real stable plans because we don't have a state. Look at what just happened to us. Like 3 months and someone wants out. That our whole plans start to get flushed. So
everything you guys seen happen in the videos, we told him about basically, or I told him about, and I was like, okay, we're gonna go look at these apartments today. I told him before we did that. We're gonna go to these apartments today. We're gonna go to this trailer park today. We're gonna go to what the hell? We're gonna look into doing these Airbnbs and staying in Airbnbs.
But we literally started to like. I noticed we stopped telling them stuff because we started realizing. I was simply telling him like everything was falling through, and it's like when you do that with people, they automatically assume that you're lying and not trying, especially based off how we look. But it's like no, like look at the economy, like look at what's going on around us. There's people coming from other states here at a rapid pace. So where they're paying up their rent for a year at a time, people like us who just trying to get in the door, we're not gonna stand a chance of those people. And it's not about being a victim. It's what it is, and that's what it is. Like what else is there to say? So imagine, like, I even literally said these words to his wife, like, imagine us every time we make a little move, we haven't even communicated with each other. Mm-hmm. So it's automatically gonna be messy. And then we bring it to you, it's gonna look like we're lying or just saying stuff to bypass time. Mm-hmm. So we just rather save it for ourselves, work it out, see what's final, and then tell you. But we can't give you answers that you're looking for. And I think that was the thing that they just didn't know how to be real about and say they were looking for a specific answer. They didn't find it, so they want us out. Yeah. They could have just kept it like that. Like, they literally just told us they want people there who are fun time, and they want to vacate. Their vacation to go look a certain way. They want to look like they got money. They clearly probably don't, because even they brought up a light bill, and I was like, why didn't you tell us the light bill? Yeah. I mean, I knew it went up because we've been here, but if you always walk around like everything's nonchalant and fine, this literally went through before when we went to California. Like, you're literally putting that on yourself, and then you have no one to blame, because we're not going to keep stop, especially when we're trying to save our money. Mm-hmm. Do you think that and I'm considerate, like, I'm not just like going to leave the lights burning, but I'm just like, you could tell us, hey, the light bill went up, you guys think you could break some bread for the light bill? Oh, we're not going to ask you for your money. Well, you're going to kick us out. Same shit. Like,
just this little same thing.
They don't really think. They just
for me, it's more confusing because, like, it's living with family, and my whole life I've seen the family that I have live with each other in different aspects and different scenarios, and nobody's ever asked anybody for any money. Nobody's ever been put out for a reason like that. Nobody's ever been considered the way I think we're considered and stuff like that. Like, I've seen my uncle that we live with my grandparents, like, when I was younger. Like, I literally watched him live with my grandparents, like, off and on
with the same wife.
Yeah, with the same wife.
And she has 2 kids that's not his.
2 children. Like, I've seen them live there because we were living there at the same time with my parents. Like, I've seen them live there and get their stuff together. And I'm like, multiple times. And I'm like, okay, so this must be a normal thing in family.
They forgot that part.
I remember when his house got foreclosed and he moved in with my grandparents until he moved into somewhere else. Like, I'm pretty sure that's how they're assuming it is with us, but they don't ask us any questions. Or not even that, they don't ask us any questions. They don't seem to understand what we're telling them. We're like, this is our situation. Maybe if you would have went through this situation, you would have ended up in a different predicament because you had leverage. But we're telling them, like, we're with you because we don't have leverage that you probably had.
Like parents who own a home.
We don't have those leverages. So we're here for that reason, to try to get ourselves out of the hole. Like,
and you know, I was gonna say, like, when we say parents, we're not talking about like us at our age right now. Mm-hmm. Like, you have to get to a certain point. Yeah. So, I've mentioned before, my parents and us been homeless since I was in high school. That never changed. Like, they just got a little bit, like, a little place of whatever they want to call it, and even that's a weird situation. But they were living in hotels for 7-8 years. Like, I'm 24. Like, they just got out of that hotel like maybe a year ago, not even. Mm-hmm. So, where the fuck do you think that I have good credit or stability anywhere? I had to live with so many different random people while working jobs. I worked 2 jobs. I got all my own stuff, but I literally lost it all because you literally see, like, there's more steps to just have a job, get a house, get a car. All of the trauma that I went through because of those situations follow right up behind me. And I have to acknowledge that unless I plan on literally just staying in the same cycle of having nothing, owning nothing, not knowing my worth, you know, it takes a toll on you mentally. I don't really care if anyone else believes that or not. Like, look at those people. They have a house and a car, and you can tell that there's those clear people, they're not getting it. Yeah. They don't get it. Because if they were in touch with life, like, I've heard the people, I really heard his wife say someone trying to commit suicide. It wasn't that bad. I don't know why they did that. You know, like, they're out of touch because of them not acknowledging themselves in their life, you know, and just kind of just saying, well, this stuff is part of, like, what happened to me, but it didn't affect me. Like, you can't live like that. And maybe if it didn't affect you, you're on a different playing field than me, because the stuff I've been through, I have to really look at how they affected me. And after that, then you start to be able to really go forward. I have children. Like, I have to really acknowledge myself and the stuff around me. So, yeah, like, now I can get towards certain things, but I have my children. I have a kid now. I have another kid coming. This stuff is real stuff. Like, you have to really make time for them and make time for what we're doing. So, yeah, like, they didn't consider at all that we were literally, all the stuff that we're getting, all the stuff that we're getting for the baby as well. We have to get all this stuff for the baby. Nobody's giving us that stuff. They would, and there's people who probably willing to, but they want something back in return that we do not have. So
a couple people gave us some things. Shout out to Andrew.
Oh yeah, Andrew. And Ashley definitely helped us out with
y'all. Those were the 2 parent friends that we said we made when we first got down to my uncle's. Like, that's we met them like probably the second week or the first week of staying with my uncle. So we've literally only known them for that long, and they helped us. They also had a second child. They helped us out with donating like a bassinet and stuff for their second baby that they just had that they don't need anymore.
It's really cool too.
So that really helped us out a lot. But as far as like other stuff, like our baby's clothes, our baby's formula that we finally found, our baby's just the things that she needs, like the little things that she needs, we've been getting on our own.
That stuff's not cheap.
It's not cheap
now.
Not cheap at all. What else? Yeah, so that conversation happened between us and his wife, and everything was like, all right, whatever. And then we went to work. Like, I know my uncle said he wanted me to see him at some point that day so we could talk about what's going on. And, I could already tell there was some animosity in the message. So I was just preparing myself for not a good conversation, because not even preparing myself for not a good conversation. I was preparing myself to explain to him what the hell was going on, or try to explain to him in a way he understands what's going on. Because you can tell that they didn't understand.
Either they don't get it, or they really just genuinely did not care. Yeah. And I'm mixing both. Yeah, I genuinely feel like they could care less and could care. Like, I'm pregnant with a baby. They could, the fact that they put us out, they could care less over other people coming to have a good time at their house.
For a vacation.
Like, I promise you, everything I love. In a text message, this person, they literally said, people vacation at the house, and we're making, I guess, we're putting them in a position where they can't let people vacation there. I've never heard people say that before.
Never heard that shit before.
There's always been some other story, but that one took the cake. And then, oh, my birthday's coming. You're 50 years old. My birthday's coming. My birthday's coming. I want other family here. And that room is taken up. I was blown. I was like,
wow.
Okay. So we definitely need to leave before we kick down, because that's crazy.
So that's what.
I don't even live in your house. I'll live on the street before I live in a house like that.
And this is all, mind you, like, they probably literally think now, but they probably literally think we're going to Jersey or moving states because we put us out and we're asking somebody to go somewhere else. But it's like, no, we don't have any. We see that we don't really have much options with you guys. Like,
and they ain't help us do nothing
flexible. Like, it's not really flexible.
Very they gave us a room. Get some towels that we have left over. They have at it.
So my uncle, we got home before them. Basically, they were out celebrating 4th of July. So they got home around like 10 o'clock or whatever, and I went out there. My uncle was sitting on the couch. His wife was in the kitchen, and I said you wanted to see me. Like, he asked to see me later, so I sat down on the couch and I was just waiting to talk, and he was just basically like, yeah, what's going on? And then I started telling him, like, it's, once again, everything that's been going on, like, it's like not really easy. Like, I was literally explaining to him, like, it's not.
If it was easy, we
it's
wouldn't
not
even
that
be
easy
there
to get out of the situation that we're trying to get out of. you know, in the amount of time we've been there, at least, like it's considerably easy. It just considers the amount of time that you put into it. So like, if we would have had 6 months, we may have started seeing way more results. You get what I'm saying? So
If it wasn't a baby
yeah, if
coming,
there wasn't a baby coming,
there could have been more
like
money put into
the
more time.
circumstances, like you really gotta
If we
pay.
didn't have a 2-year-old, more time.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
You really gotta pay attention to like the circumstances you're under in these situations. So that's what I was trying to explain to him. And then our credit situation, I was like trying to explain to him that. And then he starts comparing. He says, he just says it's bullshit, basically. Or
and you ever heard the saying,
it's just a bunch
comparison is
of-
a thief of joy. You're not supposed to compare other people to other people. That's really where you're down. And you can tell they're very pretentious people who worry about too much what they look like, because the fact that they start out with someone's struggle with comparing to someone else's just kind of shows you how hard and judgmental they are in themselves, and
Yeah.
how much they value
It
other
doesn't-
people and what they think about them.
It
Because
doesn't really.
it doesn't make any sense to say, well, this person did this, why couldn't you do it?
Yeah,
That
that's
doesn't
how you
make
can
any
tell that
sense.
they don't get it, because they're like, okay, this person did this is how it goes, or I did this is how it goes. But I'm sitting here telling you, I'm doing this, and this is not how it's going for me. I gotta do it this way, because I know this is how it goes for me. And they're telling me it's like, no, it's not. And I'm like, how do you argue with that when somebody's just doing that to you? So basically, he started comparing me to his wife's brother when he lived there, because apparently he lived there with them, but they don't disclose how long he lived there either. Also,
Exactly.
so he lived there with them
Or his circumstances.
and his 2 children, and I'm pretty sure his spouse. And yeah, he was basically just saying like he had bad credit too when he lived there, and he got into different apartments and stuff like that. And I'm like, that's great.
And what year was that again?
Yeah, I don't remember.
That's
the
another
year.
question. What year was that? Because that wasn't this year.
It wasn't this year at all.
You ain't getting nothing this year.
Yeah, and yeah, so he was saying that, and then I told him about the situation or the scenario where we tried to even rent from our old landlord that we have good rental history with. It was basically our first apartment together when we first lived together. And also that landlord is the person I have given like 2 or 3 residents or people that still pay rent in their units there. Like my mom has been living there for a while, and I'm the one that referred my mom to her, and she's been there paying her rent on time every month and stuff still. So I decided to hit her up and try to rent from her, and that's when she told us she doesn't really rent to anybody with a 600 or a below 600 credit score. So I was like,
They all trying to get over now.
I'm like, what can I do? Like, okay, if my credit score is not that much, what can I do? And she's like, it'll be very hard for me to rent to you. Like,
You don't know.
and I'm still trying to bargain with this lady. Like, this is me still trying to bargain with this lady. I'm like, okay, well, how about if I give you 3, whatever the rent is, just to move in? I was like, I'll give you, because the rent is $1,000 where we was looking to rent at. I was like, I'll give you $1,000 for the deposit. I'll give you $1,000 for first month's rent, and I'll give you $1,000 for a security deposit. But I can pay you the security deposit with the first 3 months of rent. So I'll be paying you what, $1,300 for the first 3 months, 13 something for the first 3 months of us living there. Like, that's the type of negotiation I was trying to make with her and stuff like that. And it was more so, she needed the credit score security or something. Like, she was like, she'll have to talk it over with the owner and this and that. Like, just basically keep trying to tell me no, and I'm keep trying to like persist at like, can I rent from you type thing. And then basically you kind of give up trying to negotiate with somebody like that, because you see they're clearly not budging off their
And
end.
these are not high end.
These is not no
these are
high end apartments. These is
rundown
apartments in the
duplexes.
hood type shit. Like,
Yeah.
so I'm like, okay.
Trailers, we tried to do
We
trailers.
try to do trailers that
They all got wait lists.
trailer parks have wait lists for real.
Oh my god.
Another issue with that was my dad. I feel like I may said this in another video recently, maybe not. because I've been switching back between this and Facebook. But trailer park, we applied for the trailer park. Uh, we paid the application fee, or what? It's sometime. Yeah, I think it was the application fee. But they needed another $70 to clear my name. Because they said that there's somebody with my name that has an eviction from 2020 and 2021. But they need to verify that it's not me. So the only way to verify that is if they run a credit check, which is cool. They give second chances. They're not really worried about anything bad on the credit. They just use the credit check to verify the name or the person or whatever. But along with that came the wait list for a home.
And additional fees.
Yeah, and additional fees.
Which we just had got scammed not long
like
before that.
For a trailer park. This is a trailer park now. So, the wait list thing, they were like, we have like 1 bedrooms available, but we can't put you in a 1 bedroom because you're a family of 3, almost 4, and that's just something we're not allowed to do. So that's another thing that we run into, where there's places that people are renting like their little efficiency studios or like mother-in-law suites also. They don't want to rent them out to like families of people. Like they only want to rent those things out to single people. Like it'll say single occupancy only on there, or 1 couple allowed, double the rent, this much for a couple, no kids allowed, like different things like that.
But they allow pets.
But they'll allow pets, and
they don't want your fucking kids there.
Yeah, it's crazy. So that's been going on. Even with the little studio apartments and shit like that. So.
And you know what? There was a place that you did get approved, but they didn't want me there.
Yeah, there was a place that I did.
Because I have eviction from
early on
18. Too. I'm almost 25.
This was like within the first month of living with my uncle. This place approved us, but yeah, like I said, they.
And this is when people start lying and doing all types of stuff to get into places because, you know, what do? You want to live on the street because you want to be what? Ain't nobody got time for that.
So. Basically, we've been going through all that stuff, and after all that, me trying to, like, imagine me trying to explain all that to my uncle now. Well, you guys don't know my uncle, but
you know how much life.
Look at how much shit we just. That's what I'm saying. Look at how much shit we just said to the camera, and people probably wouldn't get it because they didn't go there and do it themselves, or because they went there and did it themselves and got a different result, like. That's why they don't get it. And I'm like, okay, I get that, but I'm telling you what's going on.
It's like a numbers game for everything. Like, what year did you do it? How long did you have before or between time? Did you have money saved up? Did you have people you knew that allowed this? Like, it's so many things and loopholes and resources that could lead you to where we're trying to be. And if you're doing, I promise you, it's people who say they got out of the mud, they don't even know what the mud look like.
They don't know what the mud.
But that's because the mud looks so different from everybody's angle. So not to knock anybody's hard hustle, but you gotta really be like, when you gotta really be down. Like this is out the mud. Like, there's no family member that can help us out this mud. That's how you know. And me going all the way to Jersey, like it's still pretty much the same circumstances for the most part.
Yeah.
The only thing that is going to possibly give us leverage is the fact that there's somebody who understands.
Somebody that's willing to make accommodations. That's the big key word. If I could put a word here, it would say accommodations.
Yes.
When there's nobody willing
and
to
understanding,
make accommodations,
because literally when you're around people who want to help you but don't understand what's going on, no matter how much they think they help and they're not helping, they're making more of a burden because you have to break the barrier between them understanding what they even can do for you. So literally, me not having to explain every damn little thing to my cousin really made me realize that he gets it. And not only he gets it, he's been through exactly, similar to what we've been through. The only difference is he had parents he could stay with. But the fact that he understood that was leverage and not just that's just what happens for everybody. It don't happen for everybody.
It don't.
Like they're not considering. Look at my mom and dad. Look at his mom and dad. What's their situation right now? What's been their situation for the past 10 years? That's gonna determine where we end up.
Yeah.
And not where we end up in life, but where we are ending up right now. So we have to fight like 2-3 times harder to even not create the same ripple effect for our kids. So what do you think we gotta do? We gotta literally be so real with ourselves and look at what our patterns, results, what we're doing. We have to look at everything so we don't repeat nothing to end up in this position. Because literally, there's nobody else who's done it. Our parents didn't do it. They used their parents possibly or somebody else. So what can we learn from that?
Yeah.
And they're in denial. All of them are so much in denial. They don't even want to acknowledge we're in this situation because of them. And we can't blame them after a certain point. We're grown.
Yeah, it ain't even about blaming nobody. It's about
it's not blaming them, but it's like looking at patterns.
Looking at what you're doing, like looking at what you did, and me trying to even me trying to learn from you. I'm trying to do what you did, but I can't do that because you're gonna fight me about it. Like what the fuck? That shit's crazy to me.
Like my mom literally moved here because the Jersey was too expensive. She moved here because Jersey was too expensive. And she wanted to raise us in a better environment and give us a better life. So how does she knock me moving from here for the same reason? I just don't understand. Like you could just tell like things, nobody really paying attention to us, making sense, and that's not really their job at this point. But you can't please everybody.
Yeah.
Can't please everybody.
So, in like within, I'll say 20 seconds of me trying to explain the shit to him, right? Like, that's when he starts putting his input in, and as far as input, I'm like, your input, nigga. Like, input is him comparing me, right, to somebody else's shit and saying, well, if you can't talk to this person, that's when you go talk to this person. And I'm like, okay, but who wants to meet with me, the guy with the bad credit score, to talk to them if they already done ran my application and seen my credit score is bad and determined that they don't want to talk to me? Like, who is meeting with me?
We literally did this with another company. Remember we did the second chance program with somebody?
Yeah, the second chance
program. The worst, and we still couldn't even get into that because they said we made money outside of the city.
That's their literal reason for not getting us into an apartment when we had the money and all that shit. We didn't make money in that city, so yeah. Yeah, they did way before credit scores even existed.
That's what I'm saying, and that's what I was talking about too about assets. I think that they're, and I'm not saying they're unfair, but I feel like the advantage of them are sometimes it's disconnecting people. Like the fact that you can carry an asset like a house through generations without it like depleting in value to the sense where it adds up to what's happening at the time is literally so unfair to the people who are like us trying to get those same assets, but they're skyrocketing at a higher rate. What people used to call redlining for black people, now it's just redlining everybody. And the shit's just so high to the point where you can't even obtain the same asset that you could way back then now. And then the same people are the people in charge of judging the people to get the asset. Like, what the fuck? You didn't even pay nowhere near as much as we gonna have to pay. You didn't have to work as much as we gonna have to work. You didn't do none of this shit, and you can't even acknowledge it because you have it already. So you're trying to use the same, the less of the value you put into it, you're trying to take it and add it to the shit now because it's what it is now. But you didn't do that before. You didn't pay that before. So how are you trying to make it like you did it now? Like the houses that we're getting that's $450,000 to $500,000 don't look nowhere near or aren't nowhere near spacious or valuable, whatever, as the house that were back then. Mm-hmm. So like, how the hell are you trying to make yourself better than the people who are literally doing way more probably than you would have to do to get this to the same place? You know what I'm saying? Like things was way cheaper. My parents used to talk all the time. Well, this used to be a penny. A penny what? Like, what are y'all talking? And y'all say that stuff like and we didn't hear it. And now y'all are saying, like, these people are the same people, like, why can't you do it? Because you fucking didn't do it, so how the hell you talking about why we can't do it?
That's right.
Come do exactly what we're doing right now in this economy without anything. You're not making it, bro.
You're not.
Like, you're not.
I don't want to hear it. Other than that, like I said, it ain't even about saying you're not going to do it as in you don't believe in yourself, because you could have all the belief you want. that's a resource you need to get the hell out of here. Like regardless, like
Mm-hmm.
I bet on myself every day. She bet on herself every day. We bet on ourselves to get ourselves out this damn situation, but we know what we need to get out of the situation.
Yeah, nobody's playing dumb.
Shit.
Like,
bro.
and I'm just not gonna play victim in order to get people's sympathy.
Yeah,
You know how people don't use people off sympathy, and that's probably why we can't get no damn real help. Because so many people fucking lie and use sympathy in their situations to get places. And I guess if that's how you get places, cool. And that's you. Do what you do. But at the same time, not everybody does that. Some people really genuinely just take on a situation and try to figure this shit out. And I can't stand when people feel like you gotta play a role to fucking get somewhere. I mean, that's literally what I just seen in front of us. At this place, people want to look a certain way. You gotta look a certain way so you can feel a certain way. That's crazy to me. Like, I don't know. I don't have nothing else to say about that. Because that shit was crazy. Like,
so I was explaining to him that, oh yeah, after he was like discrediting me and shit like that, in the midst of me saying, or him, in the midst of that, he was saying, I need to communicate with him in his house, like, cause I had said something like, I was like, sometimes I can't make plans, or like, I can't really have any for sure plans and tell you because I don't know for myself. And then also at the same time, like, I have stuff to do, like, I have a family, so I gotta talk to my son, teach my son, learn, sit down and play with my son.
And they be seeing us do that shit all day, every day, hearing us in the room. Like, I know they be doing that, and they still just don't. They don't acknowledge it because I guess that's what it's supposed to be. Or they can care less. They really could care less.
Like, I still gotta check in with my spouse. I still gotta.
And it's the same person. He literally told you, like, oh yeah, you can't be working too hard. How you go from that in a couple of days to what the fuck he was doing? That's how you know that somebody gassed him up to do that shit.
I still gotta plan. I still gotta what is this shit? What's the word called? Budget. I still got a budget too. Like,
and live, nigga.
Live. We gotta eat.
They ain't paying for shit. They ain't helping us do nothing.
They not paying.
They ain't giving us no research. They're not talking to us. Nothing.
None of that shit. Like, you giving us a place that got lights, running water, and a roof, literally. And that's great. Like, I even told her, even in my video I made when I first moved in there, you guys can see a video that I uploaded on March 4th when we first moved in there, me talking about my experience being homeless. That was the video where I was saying I was appreciative of them letting us even live there.
Yeah, but they know that. But they knew that.
Off rip, like, we even said that. I've said it a million times. Like, every time I started a conversation with my uncle about our plans, it was like, I always said, we don't want us to overstay our welcome. Like, for real, like, I'm not trying to overstay anything. I'm trying to get the hell out of here.
Like, they thought that we were on vacation. You think we want to be there?
That's what I'm saying.
You think we want to be here?
This ain't no vacation. This is real life. Like, I know people come to your house to vacation, but this is real
and your house
life.
Let me not even go there.
This is really something that we're trying to overcome. So, when I'm in the middle of me trying to explain to him that in a like the same way I'm talking to y'all now, he just starts interrupting me and saying, "Is you communicate with me in my house?"
And then
like,
before that, I came out because I wasn't gonna come out initially because my son just went to bed, so he was sleeping, and I came out there. I was gonna get some ice. I was like, okay, I'm gonna go back in the room because I didn't know if it would be like a serious conversation or not, or if it was like a little talk, whatever, because they don't talk to us. Like, they don't really say anything to us other than about stupid shit like movies or something. So I stood there and I was just watching like them talk, and you know, he's very calm. Like, he don't even get mad. The only person he yell at probably is me. He don't yell at all. He don't yell at all, and unless you provoke his emotions, which he's very chill usually. So I was just sitting there listening to them talk, barely. I feel like I also like kind of made your uncle upset just because I was standing there. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, I always feel like people do not bring shit to me. When me and Mike go through stuff, like me and Mike are a team, no one talks to me. Like, I feel like everybody goes straight to him and be like complaining or whatever. And I'm like, why don't they talk to me? Like, I don't know. Maybe because they know I curse their ass out.
Yeah, but yeah.
But I got it in that situation, like that's your uncle, but
he just kept repeating shit, and I was like, I understand, but I was like, I mean, at that point, it's like, what am I supposed to say? Like, I don't say nothing. Like, I'm literally just sitting
just as
there
you say the word communicate,
listening to him say this shit over and over again, and then Dora was like, "You don't gotta yell." Like, I was
yeah, he was like screaming, turning red, pointing in his
yeah.
face, and I was like, at that point, I was starting to get annoyed, and I was still, and I talk loud.